Hi everyone. Today I'm going to talk about how you can be a learning machine. In a constantly evolving world like ours, the so-called experts do not carry us far. For how can you be learning all the time? Best learners always have a beginner's attitude all the time. And I call this mindset, I know nothing mindset. I'm going to give you two real life scenes and try to explain, how this works. Sorry. Let's take a scenario where a business leader is presenting in a weekly or a monthly review. He or she prepares and comes and talks about all the accomplishments he or she has done. And at the end of the presentation, he presents few challenges so that it looks complete. And what's the expectation of this presenter, of this leader? The leader is expecting the audience to acknowledge all his accomplishments. But let's look at another leader who comes and presents quickly, all the accomplishments of the period, and then spends most of the time picking up key challenges that he is facing and actually involving the audience to come out with ideas how we can solve those challenges together. Now you saw two leaders, right? One talking about what has happened, expecting a pat on the back. The other one quickly running through what has happened and using that opportunity to learn from the audience, from the collective wisdom, how you can take the organization forward. These two leaders have two different narratives. The second leader has a narrative of saying that how can I learn to solve the challenge that I'm facing with the collective wisdom of the people in the room. Now, this person really wants to learn, right? And looking at, I personally experienced of being the first type of a leader in early part of my career and constantly learning from others in terms of how do you become someone who constantly learns. My quick hack on this is start having a narrative for yourself. If the narrative starts with these two words, learn to, let's just make that narrative of the second leader. Learn to solve the few key challenges that I have during this meeting from all the people in the audience. Now, it makes you behave very, very differently. For it's all a function of the narrative that you are going to give it to yourself. And let me give another example, which has always worked for me. And I keep reading a lot of books. One way to say that you, in your task list, complete reading this book. Instead, if I just change that to learn to scale a startup using others' experiences, the way I will read that book and I read that book is very different from the way that I will read the first book. That's a tick off. So it's fundamentally important that we change the narrative, and this is the hack that which has always worked for me. Just to repeat, anything that you're putting in your task list, if you just add the words learn to, you will see a transformation of how you approach every activity and you will become a better person.